me get the mic. Honey, I got something to say. Ooh, I like that. Can you turn that up for me? No, like, it's Myj. But you know, Myj for short. Ask Myj.
What's up? What's up? It's your girl Myj, and we are back with another episode of Ask Myj The Podcast. Y'all, when I tell y'all I am on a high, I feel so good. 26 feels so good. And I am manifesting everything I want in this season, in this year. Thank you so much to everybody who showed me love, who wished me happy birthday on Friday, May 22nd, my birthday. Thank you to everybody who participated in the contest. Shout out to the winner, Victoria. Yes, this is getting some new Apple AirPods. I pray and I hope that you loved the episode, the video. When I say they was dropping some gems, they were dropping gems. And I can only pray that you were inspired in some way. When I say we had so much fun recording that episode, so much fun, so much great insight. And I love them so much because we can all learn from each other while inspiring and helping and teaching and mentoring and coaching other people. So yes, I had an amazing birthday. Like I said, I hope that you were inspired or empowered, uplifted in some way possible from the episode, from something that one of us said. And then I know that my goal is fulfilled. So yes, 26 is here. I feel good. I'm excited. And I'm just hitting the ground running, turning 26. And I hate to say it, but I am closer to 30, which means I got to work a little bit harder to become a millionaire because it is on the way, okay? So yes, Myj moment of the day. So Teyana Taylor just announced the launch of Jujubee's clothing line. And the face of the line is no other than her daughter, Junie baby, which we all have grown to love. And when I say she is not new to the modeling thing. She is not new to the entertainment thing, honey. She is a star in her own right, and I absolutely love it. But anyway, so in one of the videos, Teyana is videoing Junie, and she's getting into this car. It's like this really fancy car, and she looks like she's like trying to find the right pose. And so Teyana asked her, she said, "Who do you think you are?" And Junie says, "Let's just say I'm the boss." So Myj moment of today, I think I really just want to encourage you that sometimes you really have to step back and celebrate yourself. Like, look in the mirror, remind yourself of where you came from, where you are, how much progress you made, where you want to go, and truly, truly manifest everything that you want. I think a lot of times we're so focused on what more we want and where we want to go and where we see ourselves and where we want to be that we forgot to just bask in where we are now. Just be grateful for the current moment. Just thank God and be thankful for where you are. And remind yourself that I've worked hard to get to where I am now. Remember that you've prayed at some point to get to where you are now. And it's okay to bask in that. So I say to you, it's okay to celebrate yourself. It's okay to pat yourself on the back. It's okay to look yourself in the mirror and say, let me tell you something. I'm the boss. I'm running things around here. And I made it to where I am because of me, because of my hard work, because of my persistence, because I didn't give up. Like, that is okay to say, I am proud of you. And when I say these kids are on a roll with Stormy with the patience and now Junie with the let's just say I'm the boss, like, I think we can learn from a child's innocence and their confidence in themselves. Like I said, just celebrate yourself every once in a while. You know, pat yourself in the back and remind yourself of how proud you are, even when the world doesn't. So yes, I encourage you, celebrate yourself today. So what y'all mad about this week? So May 19th was Little Future's birthday, and he got so much love from his mom, his dad, from Russell. And so a lot of people were mad about Russell's caption. This is what he said on Little Future's birthday. Posted a picture and he said, "My inspiration, my best friend, full of love, joy, and grace. I thank Jesus for you and being able to lead and guide you. Your future is forever endless, and I pray you swim into every opportunity and obstacle in life with this much love and enthusiasm. Happy 6th B-Day, Future. Daddy loves you." So that ruffled a lot of feathers. A lot of people were a little mad that Russell called Future or baby Future his daddy, I guess, with the fact of, or considering the fact that he's not his real dad. He's his stepdad and Future is his real dad. So a couple of comments I saw. The first one was like, the user commented "daddy," with a question mark, and then there was like a meme of Future, a picture of Future. He kind of was looking like, what in the world? A second comment said, "The love Russell Wilson has for baby Future is truly beautiful to see. Any person mad about that is simply a weirdo." Another comment said, "It's funny how Future tweets about baby Future like he is a stepdad, and Russell Wilson tweets like he is the dad. It's hilarious to me." I would say this. Leave them people alone. At the end of the day, all we see is what we see on Instagram. All we see is what they choose to show us. And we don't know if Future is 100% present, 50% present, or 10% present. And the same thing with Russell Wilson. Whether he is 10% present, 30% present, or 100% present. We don't know. But at the end of the day, he posted what he posted. And obviously, Sierra ain't mad, and neither is Future from what we see. So leave these people alone. Oftentimes, we have so much to say about these people families, and baby Future might even consider Russell Wilson his daddy as well as Future his daddy. Leave them people alone. Leave them people alone. If they don't have a problem with it, why do you? If baby Future is okay with Russell Wilson saying that he is a daddy, and Future, the real Future, is okay with it, and Sierra is okay with it, then leave them alone. Let their family be. Leave them alone. Maybe Russell may be more of a father, to Future than the real Future is. We don't know. But at the end of the day, they seem like they're okay with it, and you should be minding your business, okay? Drinking your water and minding your business. So next, that ain't even nothing to be mad about. Leave people families alone. On to the next. So I got a lot to cover this week because we did a special episode for you last week, which I had so much fun doing. First, let's get into these Verzuz battles. Luda and Nelly. Let's start with y'all. First of all, Nelly, what? Like, oh my God, we got to do something about this Wi-Fi, this connection, this network. Honey was like, yeah, we on the, but then you just, yeah, and then we. And Luda was like, yeah, absolutely, just chilling. Just chilling. Like, Nelly, honey, get it together. When I say I was so close to just giving up because Nelly could not get it together, oh my gosh, something has to be done. And at some point, Luda just hung up and kind of was doing his own thing before Nelly got back on the battle. It just was like, all right, what's going on? And he Big Mo, you there? Big Mo, can you hear me? Big Mo this, Big Mo this. No, Luda, we can't hear Big Mo, okay? And Big Mo obviously can't hear us. On to the next. That's how I felt at some point. But no, shout out to Luda and Nelly for a fire Verzuz battle outside of all of the Wi-Fi and connection issues. That was a fire battle. I mean, they took it back with all the hits from Luda's Pimpin' All Over the World, his collab with Sierra. Oh, now that was back in the day. And I had Sierra's CD. I knew every word on that CD. That's when she was popping. So shout out to Luda and Nelly came through with the tip drill, Air Force Ones, My Place with Jaheim, and Ashanti. I mean, they were just bringing back the hits. So shout out to them. In that case, I'm going to give it to Luda because Nelly, you had a lot going on. And Luda kept his cool. I mean, he just was too cool for school the entire battle. So shout out to them. Oh, and then it was so funny when he was playing Pimpin' All Over the World. I saw this tweet afterwards, and they were saying how like Luda said, sing it, hoes, and all the girls was like, the world. When I say I was singing that part, and once I saw that tweet, I feel attacked. Like I was definitely singing in unison with the rest of the girls. Okay, and let me say, I feel attacked. I'm never singing that part of the song anymore. Okay, next. So yes, moving on. So Jagged Edge and 112 again so this wasn't even like connection issues. Jagged Edge just had some like weird something going on. At some point, like when they were playing their music, it sounds like they were like holding the bottom of the phone like this. Like that's literally how it sounded. It was like, Jagged Edge, what's going on? It sounded like we on the radio, underwater, y'all mouths is covered. Like, what is happening? Verzuz, we gotta get some better quality. I feel like the best Verzuz battle we've seen in terms of like connection and quality has been Erykah Badu and Jill Scott. Like, do we as women have to show y'all everything? Like, get it together. But no, that was bomb. They definitely took us back too with all of the R&B jams. Bringing R&B back. I mean, from Good Luck Charm. They started off with He Can't Love You. I mean, like, I was already done after that. And then Cupid had Peaches and Cream, and I said Cupid. I meant 112 had Peaches and Cream, and Cupid, and Anywhere. We could do it anywhere. And you know what's funny? After watching that battle, I learned that, or I realized that I know a lot of Cupid songs. I know a lot more. I keep calling them Cupid. I know a lot more of 112 songs than I thought I did. I just didn't know the names of them. So like when they would play the song, I'm singing along like, oh wow, I know this song. I just didn't know what the name of it was. So yeah, shout out to them. And then it was so cool to see Keith Sweat coming to the camera after a while, coming to the live after a while. And of course, Keith Sweat himself would say his favorite 112 song is Player. Like, okay, Keith Sweat, we see you. I know what you mean. I see what you're talking about. Okay. But yeah, so shout out to them. Oh, and shout out to Jagged Edge for releasing announcing the launch of their upcoming album in June. I don't remember if they announced an exact date, but they definitely said June 2020 they are releasing a new album. So yeah, shout out to Jagged Edge, shout out to 112, shout out to Luda, shout out to Nelly for all of their Verzuz battles and keeping us entertained. We just need some better connection, some better quality. But it's all good, though. Thank y'all for those hits and taking us back to the good old days. So, in the world of cancel culture, when I say everybody is being canceled, like, I mean, left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right. Okay, let's get to it. Let's start with Mr. Boosie himself, Mr. New Orleans himself. So, we've all known Boosie to be on live and be on Instagram and speak his I don't even want to, truth, I guess, like, whatever, speak his mind. He has absolutely no filter. He says whatever comes to his mind. Like, we know Boosie as that, and I think it's one of those things where people either love Boosie because of that or they hate Boosie because of that. And I think in this particular incident, it really cost him a lot of fans, a lot of respect, and a big part of his reputation. But anyway, so Boosie is on live and he basically, let me back up. Let me give a little bit of background about Boosie too. Boosie was very vocal when Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union came out about their new daughter Zaya wanting to be known as a girl. So they referred to Zaya as their daughter, and that was Zaya's choice. So Boosie had a lot of, I would call them negative, he didn't really, negative comments. He didn't really agree with Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union's decision, and he was very, very vocal about that. So now Boosie has come on live, and he basically admitted to having a grown woman perform oral sex on his 12 and 13-year-old son and nephew. And a lot of people were not feeling that. So cancel culture has canceled Boosie. And I hate to say it, but I agree. I absolutely agree. At the end of the day, number one, that's rape. It is statutory rape for somebody who is over 18 to perform any sexual acts with, a child. Essentially, we're talking 12 or 13-year-olds here. That is rape, number one. Number two, when we talk about giving, children have a sense of innocence to them, right? An element of innocence to them. So they're still learning, they're still experimenting, they're still finding out who they are. So I think by having them exposed to that sexual activity at such an early age, it really took away their choice, right? It really took away their ability to choose on their own. And it's not to say whether or not they should choose to be with the same sex or choose to be with the opposite sex. It really doesn't even have anything to do with that. But it's really about exploring on their own and learning on their own. And I feel like Boosie took that away from them. Like, you forced that onto them. You know what I'm saying? You forced that onto them. And, I don't even want to say what he said in the video. It was very vulgar. But some of the words he used were, he insinuated that he was preparing them and he was training them up. And my thing is, like, when I think about, the words training and preparing them for what? Training them for what? And I think this already goes back to the stigma of that double standard between, men and women. Because had it been the other way around and, there was a grown man performing, sexual acts on a little girl, the world would have been in a rage. So there's this double standard that it's okay. And there were a lot of people defending Boosie, which I think is absolutely gross. It's disgusting. Again, we took away their choice, male or female, we took away their choice to explore on their own, to learn on their own. Like, that is rape. Like, that is rape. And no, I'm sorry, but I honestly hope that people hold true to canceling him, and to not support him at all. And this is not just a phase, because this is wrong, like absolutely wrong. And again, I think, people have come to either love or hate Boosie because he's so open to speaking his mind, but this is on a whole nother level. Like, if that was the case, maybe you should have just kept that to yourself, because that is absolutely wrong. Like, absolutely wrong. And I can't stand for that. I don't agree with that. I am not, no, just absolutely not. Absolutely not. So Boosie is canceled. And like I said, I hope that it stays that way, that he's canceled for good. Unless, to be honest, I don't even know how he could come back from that. You know what I mean? I don't even know how he can come back from that. And honestly, I don't see Boosie, issuing an apology or, coming back to defend himself, because he doesn't feel like he needs to. He doesn't feel like he did anything wrong. So hey, to each his own. But yeah, Boosie, you're canceled. So moving on. Miss Lana Del Rey, award-winning singer and songwriter. She caught some backlash from an Instagram post that she posted, where she announced her album coming out September 5th. But she also posted some comments where she was addressing backlash that she gets about her music, and she called out some renowned people. Here's what she said. Now that Doja Cat, Ariana, Camila, Cardi B, Kalani, and Nicki Minaj, and Beyonce have had number ones with songs about being sexy, wearing no clothes, effing, cheating, etc., can I please go back to singing about being embodied, feeling beautiful, by being in love, even if the relationship is not perfect, or dancing for money, or whatever I want without being crucified or saying that I'm glamorizing abuse. She also said, I'm fed up with female writers and alternative singers saying that I glamorize abuse, when in reality, I'm just a glamorous person singing about the realities of what we are all now seeing are very prevalent, emotionally abusive relationships all over the world. Ooh, child, this is a mouthful. And then toward the end, she said, I just want to say it's been a long 10 years of BS reviews up until recently, and I've learned a lot from them. But I also feel it really paved the way for other women to stop putting on a happy face and just to be able to say whatever the hell they wanted to in their music. So a lot of people didn't really care for, a lot of people canceled Lana Del Rey, I guess, because they didn't really care for her bringing the names of the other female artists, and majority of the names that she mentioned were Black women. So here's my thing with Lana Del Rey. If you know anything about Lana Del Rey, she's very successful. A lot of people would consider her kind of a mainstream figure, or a Beyonce, or one of the top female artists in her genre, is what I'm going to say. So I'm going to say this, right? I don't agree with anything she said. I don't disagree with anything she said. I don't think she was wrong. And I agree that, leave her alone. Obviously you're going to get, criticism and backlash by, whatever it is that you put out, whether it's amazing music about unity and uplifting people, or whether you're talking about, music where you're wearing new clothes and you're in abusive relationships or whatever people consider it. You're going to get backlash either way. But however, I do understand what she's saying when she mentioned like, oh, well, these artists do this, why am I getting, criticized for the music I make? But where I feel like she was, I wouldn't say wrong, but where she kind of fell short in that message is that understand that those artists are just as criticized as you are. They receive just as much criticism as you do. And I also feel like regardless of whatever point she was trying to make, she had to understand that she was going to get backlash by naming those artists. Like, there's no way. It's very hard for me to believe that she sat there, typed up that message, and she didn't think that she was going to get any backlash by naming those artists. Like, I think she could have made the point without naming the artists. Like, leave them out, whether they're predominantly black or it's a predominantly white group. Like, make the point that you're trying to make without comparing yourself to anyone else. So I don't necessarily agree with her mentioning the names, but I don't see a problem with what she said and how she felt and kind of how she was addressing, I guess, backlash for her music. Now, I can't say I don't agree with artists at all coming out about their music and how they feel they should be treated and what they don't like and what they do like. I don't really care for that. I think that when it is your passion, make your music and Beyonce said, the best revenge is your paper. Make your music, do what you're passionate about, do what you love, and let that speak for itself. Like, you don't have to come out and address backlash every time critics give you backlash, because understand this, whether you're doing good or bad, you're always going to get backlash. Like, you're always going to get criticized. So I feel like to hold on to your piece, you don't have to address every critic, or address every time somebody criticizes you. I think, like I said, for your own peace, if you worry so much about what other people have to say or worry about addressing what other people have to say, you'll be miserable. So that's my take. So, I mean, in essence, I think, again, my personal opinion, I don't, you don't necessarily need to address backlash all the time. However, I don't disagree with what she was saying. It's true. Like, if she wants to talk about whatever she wants to talk about, or the other artists can talk about what they want to talk about, she should be able to do the same. However, we don't live in a world where you will never receive criticism or backlash. Like, that's nearly impossible. So yeah, and like I said, I think she could have left out the names. Like, you could have definitely made your point without using those names. So anyway, afterwards, she came out and she addressed the criticism some more in an IG live video. She said, hey, so I don't want to be a dead horse and I don't want to go on and on about this post thing. But I just want to remind you that in that post, my one and only personal declaration I've ever made, thanks for being so warm and welcoming, was about the need for fragility in the feminist movement. It's going to be important. And when I mentioned women who look like me, I didn't mean white like me. I mean the kind of women who other people might not believe because they think, oh, well, look at her, she deserves it or whatever. There's a lot of people like that. And in her last comment, she said, I'm not the enemy and I'm definitely not racist, so don't get it twisted. So yes, shout out to Lana Del Rey. Continue to do what you do, girl, and brush the haters off, honey. And lastly, when we talk about cancel culture, let's just say everybody been canceled. Like, I don't know what's going on in quarantine, but everybody getting canceled. Miss Doja Cat. And this was surprising to me because sis just got the #1 with Say So, remix with her and Nicki Minaj. And then we were celebrating because they were #1 and Megan and B were #2 with Savage remix. So it's just like, what happened? But anyway, so some video surfaced of Doja Cat participating in Tiny Chat, which is an online community chat thing, with alleged racist people who are using racial slurs and participating in racial, I guess, derogatory conversation. And then there was another song that surfaced. Doja wrote in 2015 called Didn't Do Nothing, excuse me. And the song was named after a racist slur that mocks the victims of police brutality. Wow, wow, you know. And if you look on Twitter, and even if you just search Doja Cat, so the trend is the Doja Cat party is over. No, Doja Cat is over party. That's the trend. So if you just search that, there are so many people with like threads who have done like real extensive research about Doja Cat and how, I guess, their theory is supposed to prove that she is racist. And so they're canceling her. So when I went through some of the threads, I was like, wow, this is really interesting. I've never been a huge fan of Doja. Never really listened to her music. And I don't really know much about her. So this was a bit surprising for me because it just was like, wow, like, you know, one of the most public things I've heard about her so far is the fact that, you know, she got on this remix Nicki Minaj got on the remix, on her remix, Say So remix, and they made it to #1, and it's like now this. So anyway, she came out after, you know, a couple of days of the whole Doja Cat party is over trend. And she issued an apology. A lot of people weren't feeling it, but this is what she said on her Instagram. I've used public chat rooms to socialize since I was a child. I shouldn't have been on some of those chat room sites, but I personally have never been involved in any racist conversations. I'm sorry to everyone that I offended. She then admitted to writing and recording didn't do nothing, but said it was a misguided attempt to flip its meaning in response to people who often use that term to hurt me. So I don't know. A lot of people weren't really feeling her apology. She goes on to say, as for the old song that's resurfaced, it's in no way tied to anything outside of my own personal experience, she wrote. I made an attempt to flip its meaning, but recognized that it was a bad decision to use the term in my music. I understand my influence and impact, and I'm taking this all very seriously. I love you all, and I'm sorry for upsetting or hurting any of you. That's not my character, and I'm determined to show that to everyone moving forward. Thank you. So again, a lot of people weren't feeling her apology, and like I said, there's this trend of Doja Cat is over party. So I don't know if she can come back from this. A lot of people are not feeling her. After she issued the first apology was kind of a written apology on Instagram. Then she came out on live, and she kind of expanded on her apology. And this is what she said. There's no better apology than me doing what I've always done, being on live, telling you guys my effing truth and being completely honest. It's a hard time right now, but recording myself apologizing and recording myself sounding perfectly diplomatic is the biggest effing lie I can make to you. My behavior isn't something that always needs to be followed. I'm not perfect. I shouldn't be doing dumb sugar honey iced tea. But also, I need to stand up for myself instead of making a video that's diplomatically and politically correct. So yes, I don't know. I don't know about this one. I don't know the extent of the conversation that she was having with these people. It doesn't look good that you were in these chats with these people. I don't know why you need to use these particular chats to socialize. I don't understand that. But I don't know. I don't know if she can come back from this. I don't know, Doja. We'll see. This is an intense one. So yes, we'll see what she continues to do to make up for this. And not to mention, she is, from my understanding, she's mixed. She's half black, half white. So I don't know. Very, very, very interesting story. So yes, and last but not least, shout out to Ayesha Curry. Oh my gosh, she looks so good. She posted a little picture in a bikini. And for me, I really admired it because it wasn't, I guess, like a thirst trap. It was more so to say I was unhappy with how I looked, or I was unhappy with my eating habits and my working out habits. So I decided to put some real work in. I decided to change my diet. I decided to change my exercising habits, and it's paying off. And if I can do it, you can do it too. That's kind of what I got from the post. So yeah, shout out to Ayesha. She looks so good. Girl, keep going, keep inspiring. That's what we need to continue to see, is women uplifting other women and empowering you to do the same thing. So yes, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening, and I said we like I'm a whole team, and I will catch you on the next episode.
Let me get
Thanks
the
for
mic.
listening.
Honey, I got something to say. Ooh, I like that. Can you turn that up for me? No, like, it's Myj. But you know, Myj for short. Ask Myj.